Welcome to the Hombre Cave, where the worlds of tequila, wine, spirits, and sports collide. Dive into rich stories, cultural insights, and the thrill of the game all in one place. So whether you're a connoisseur or a casual fan, this is your space to sip, savor, and play. Hola, tequila, wine, and sports amigos. Bienvenido. Welcome to the Hombre Cave. I'm your host, the Tequila Hombre, or, since we're friends, you can just call me Mark, and some of my friends call me Hombre. If you are someone who hasn't followed me along on my journey, like I would, you're probably wondering, who is this Tequila Hombre guy, and why should I listen to this guy when he's talking about winemaking, and tequila? Well, I don't blame you. I would ask the same questions of any educator or influencer that I would watch on social media or on the internet. I think credibility is key. So you should wonder, who is this guy? What is his experiences? And what's his level of experiences? And what does he know? So in the next few episodes, because there's a lot of information for me to give to you, I'm going to discuss that and kind of work through it with you and kind of tell you where I've been in my journey, the kind of things I've done, and hopefully that'll lend credibility to you, so you'll know I can be somebody that you trust, that's going to give you accurate information and help you along in your journey, whether that's, experiencing tequila or whether that's getting into wine and winemaking at home, and a combination of both too, because we're going to bring those both together, because I'm a firm believer that if you're a wine lover and drinker, tequila is something you should also explore. And we'll get into that in the next few episodes and give you lots of great information, as well as I got some really incredible stories to tell. So hopefully you'll come along on the journey. So make sure you click follow on where you get your podcasts, or you click that subscribe on YouTube, and so you can catch these episodes as they come up. So my journey, maybe like yours, began back in college when I first, started exploring the world of alcohol. I went to school at Chico State University. I got my degree in radio and television broadcasting. And while I was there, I was working as a club DJ. And that's where I kind of got my first experience into tequila, where people were buying me tequila shots for tips as I was working in some of the nightclubs there as a club DJ. And for me at that point, tequila tasted like regret. It was not something I was a huge fan of. Of course, we needed the lime and the salt to cover up the flavor profile of that. And I'd wake up the next morning regretting that I drank the shots that were bought for me, and basically wasn't a fan of tequila. And I was pretty much that way all through college and all through like my beginning of my adult life, until one time my wife and I were at our timeshare in Cabo San Lucas, and we went out on the town and said, hey, we should maybe go do some tequila tasting and see what this tequila thing's all about. And originally I was like, I'm not a huge tequila drinker because I've had some bad experiences with it. But she's like, let's do it. I'm like, okay. So I kept an open mind, and we went out and hit some of the touristy spots in Cabo San Lucas. And of course, they're pushing the tequila that's really sweet and syrupy. And so we were tasting that, and we're like, well, this is actually really good, enjoyable sipper. So the first tequilas that I got that really sparked my interest were sweet, caramelly, vanilla-like flavored tequilas. And I was like, wow, this stuff's really good. I want to learn more about it, which kind of sparked an interest in me. And I'm the type of person that when I start getting interested in something, I like doing research on it and getting to know more and more about it. Now, after my experiences there and picking up tequila, I decided I'm going to go and explore social media and see what I could find on Facebook groups. Because at this time, there wasn't TikTok, there wasn't Instagram, there wasn't some of the other social media platforms out there Facebook was like the big one. And so I went into Facebook tequila groups and started asking questions. Now, to give you a little background information about myself, before I went into this group, I didn't go in not knowing anything about some of the process and stuff involved. I was a experienced home brewer, and I've studied fermentation. And actually, at this point, I was already a national champion home brewer. I won a gold medal in the National Homebrew Championship competition. So I've been studying fermentation, and I knew, a lot of information about fermentation yeast and developing flavor profiles and stuff like that. So with that knowledge in the beer area, I took that into Facebook and started, first thing I did is post a picture of the bottle that I bought in Cabo San Lucas. And I had some people that were like, yeah, I enjoy that tequila. That's really good. And other people like, yeah, that's tasty. And then, I had some people that decided to insult the bottle that I bought. And so I got, that's not real tequila. That's candy. That's, not authentic tequila. And I was kind of taken back by that. Like, whoa. But there's some good people in the Facebook group that decided they were going to help me, which is great. Because I love when in Facebook groups, when in communities like that, where people will actually help you and not make you feel like, you don't know tequila and you how dare you post something like that in these groups. But I had some really good people in there, and some of the producers were actually in there as well. So I got a barrage from these so-called experts that were going to tell me all the stuff that was involved. Now, I'm the type of person that I don't believe everything everybody tells me. When somebody tells me something, I normally like to research it and find out more information before I start, believing it or before I start repeating it. So I was getting barraged with all this information. I had some people that were DMing me saying, don't listen to those guys. While it's true that, those tequilas have additives in it and it's not like a real natural tequila. And they would give me recommendations. Like, if you like that bottle, go try this one and love to hear what you think. And so those people I appreciated. And so I went and I started trying tequila that people in this group recommended. And I found out I really did like stuff they were recommending. So I started buying more bottles and really enjoying it. And I started connecting with the producers through Facebook. And I enjoyed asking them questions, and they were more than happy to help me by responding back and giving me information. And it got to the point where I really started building a passion for tequila and wanted to do stuff. What the kind of person that I am, when I find something I really like, I like sharing it with others and like doing things that can help others. And so I decided, while we were in the group, I'm like, I think what we're going to do, I started seeing some ads that would pop up about some single barrels that were starting to be offered by some of the brands. And I posted in the group and I said, how about if we do a single barrel buy? Now, one of the things I'm really good at is connecting with people and building relationships. And I've always been really good at that. And so I was like, I could probably try to work it out. And I had a bunch of people in the Facebook group that were like, no, you can't buy single barrels. Other people tried it before. It has to be a liquor store. They won't do it for groups. You're wasting your time. And while they're doing this, while they're telling me what I can't do, which I'm one of these people that don't tell me I can't do something. When you tell me I can't do something, or when somebody says I can't do something, that's a challenge for me to make it happen. But while they're telling me, oh, that's impossible, you can't do it, I'm actually getting DM'd from a guy saying, I can help you do that. And he ended up being a representative for Sazerac. And so I was like, okay, we'd love to do it. Let's do it. And so that was the formation of my group, the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. So that was the first thing that I did to kind of give back to people that wanted to experience good tequila. I'm like, I want to learn more about this. I want to learn more about barrel buys. I want to learn more about tequila. So I started the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. And at that point, it was just called Tequila Barrel Collective. And a lot of people, the experts that thought I was taking away from them, were, telling people that it won't happen, don't get sucked into it, that I was a con man, and my barrels would be fake, not real barrels. But meanwhile, I've got this Sazerac guy saying, I can help you. Let's do it. We can set it up. And sure enough, he did set it up. And my first trip to Mexico was through Sazerac, where I traveled to Casa San Matias and I picked 2 barrels. 2 barrels. So the first 2 barrels we did were with a brand called Corazon de Agave. And so when I went up to the distillery, they welcomed me and basically took me on a tour and explained how everything works. And I really fell in love with the people there. I fell in love with their philosophies, the way they do things. They went through all of that with me and treated me really well. And so we ended up picking 2 barrels, and then the barrels were real, and they ended up coming in, and the group, the people that I bought them for, I formed another Facebook group that was called the Tequila Barrel Collective Facebook group. The people out in there placed their orders. I didn't take any of their money because I knew that the experts that were there were telling them they're fake barrels and stuff. And I wanted to let them know that I had nothing to do with this. And so they actually didn't pay me. They paid the retail partner that we set up directly. So I didn't handle any of the money, just to avoid any accusations and stuff like that. And so that was the beginning of the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. So after doing a few barrel selections with them, I said, I want to go see what some of the other brands are doing and what some of the other brands are like. And so I started looking online for reviewers. And there was no video reviewers. There was nobody out there doing video reviews. There were some bloggers out there that would blog about brands and do tastings on a blog, but there was really nobody doing a YouTube channel with tastings and with tequila information. So I said, maybe I should do that. There was some bourbon guys and whiskey guys that would occasionally taste tequilas. And for their reviews, it was pouring a shot, taking a shot and saying, wow, that's really smooth tequila. I recommend this. And I'm like, well, that doesn't really tell me much. That really doesn't excite me, that the fact that this guy says it's smooth and that I should buy it. So I said, I think I can do better. And so what happened is I'm on the group, in the Facebook groups. I got some people there that like me, and I've built up somewhat of a following, getting some attention with the barrel buys and stuff that I'm doing, and telling people about my experiences and going to Mexico and visiting the distilleries. My first trip, I didn't just see Casa San Matias. I also went to Siete Leguas and had a great time touring the distillery with a lady there named Berta. Berta was great. She was very welcoming. She walked me through a bunch of the stuff, taught me a lot about Siete Leguas' processes. So I had started building experience on trips. And what was kind of interesting too is because I started doing these barrel buys, I had other brands that would DM me saying, we'd love to do barrels with you too. Would you be interested in doing, barrels with us? And I'm like, sure. But I wanted to find out more information about these brands. I wanted to see what the general consensus was on them and stuff before I ended up setting up these barrel buys and nobody wanted the tequilas. So of course, I did in the Facebook group, I did post, hey, I have this brand that's wants to do single barrel. Would you guys be interested? And if a bunch of people responded back, yes, I love that brand, blah, blah, blah. Then I said, okay, we'll go ahead and set it up. And I'd set it up and coordinate, fly out to Mexico on my own expense, visit the distillery, see what they do, how they do it, and then go through the barrel selection process and try to pick a really good barrel. The first 2 barrels that I picked were really good. We sold them out right away. Everyone was really happy with the tequila, saying it was some of the best single barrel tequilas that they've had, which was great. That's exactly what I was looking to accomplish. So as I'm looking for reviews to decide on what other brands we want to work with, I wasn't really happy with what I saw. And so I posted in the group, I think I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Now, remember before I told you, I don't like people telling me things that I can't do. I've had people that were so-called experts in this group that were like, you can't do tequila reviews. You haven't been drinking tequila long enough. And I'm thinking to myself, what are you talking about? And they're like, you need to follow us. You should wait probably 5 years or so and use us as your resource for information. And we'll, give you the information you need, and you need to learn from us before you think about doing tequila reviews. And I was like, what? Who are you? I don't know you. I don't know these people sitting behind their keyboards saying that they're self-proclaimed experts. And there's other people like, yeah, they're experts. You should listen to them. And I'm like, no, I don't know these people. But meanwhile, I have brand producers. I have the tequila producers that are messaging me on the DM saying, you should go ahead and do a review channel. You should do it. We'll support you. We'll give you all the information you need. And so I said, all right, I'm going to set up a YouTube channel. Well, when I said I'm going to set it up, and I actually posted in there, I'm going to do the Tequila Hombre. I had a lot of people that were like, we're not going to let you do it. We're going to come after you. We're going to make sure that your channel fails miserably. And they're telling me this in a Facebook group. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Who are you people? And sure enough, they try to get other people to do review channels and stuff to go up against me. They were sending me messages saying I'm a fraud and I'm looking to rip people off. And they was saying all kinds of nasty things. And I'm like, I don't know who you people think you are, but you don't know me. You don't know what I'm capable of doing. You don't know what my background is. You don't know who I'm talking to and setting things up with. Bug off. And they did not like that. They did not like that at all. And so that's how I started building my haters. Now, one thing to keep in mind while I was running the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, I never once charged anybody anything. All the money went to the retailers. I just did all the work. I paid for my own travel. I paid my own expenses. I never asked anybody for any money. I did it for the passion of tequila, to support the people that I've been meeting, that have been helping me, and to be able to get some of these amazing tequilas to people so they can try them. Never charged anybody anything. The first year I ran the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, my wife, who's an accountant, came to me and said, this first year of you doing these barrel buys and stuff, and starting the YouTube channel and started doing reviews, it cost me $35,000 of my own money that I was, generating through my DJ business and my job. So I was not asking any of the people that were getting the barrel buys bottles and stuff for money. It only cost them what the price of the bottles were, and the price was set by the retailer. So I was not making any money doing this at all. And my ideas were that when I started the Tequila Hombre channel that I wasn't going to charge brands for that either. Well, there you go. That is the history up to the beginning of the Tequila Hombre channel. I'm going to split these up into multi-part episodes to make it a little easier to listen to, so it doesn't take up a huge chunk of your time. I understand people's time's valuable, and I want to respect that. So I wanted to let you know that I do appreciate you being part of this journey, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and addressing your questions. As always, feel free to reach out by commenting on this podcast on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. I'll try to address them. The easiest thing for me to do if you want me to answer a question is to head on over to the Hombre Cave YouTube channel and comment on the video there. And or you can DM me directly on Instagram or through my Facebook page, the Tequila Hombre page. You can DM me there as well. I always respond personally. I always want to hear from you and help you. So until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So welcome to the next step to learning even more that will help you right here on the Hombre Cave.